Aiden.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Jeffrey.
Whoa!
I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's been quite a while, but we are back on track to give you guys another episode of Youth Connect. I hope you guys are excited. Now, just in case, it's very important that we do this because it has been quite a while. What the heck is Youth Connect? Well, Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that is more than just sharing stories. We are working at it, creating a platform of inclusion and acceptance, one episode at a time. Our Youth Connect team is going to be sharing with you a bunch of amazing stuff, whether that be cooking knowledge, live music, interesting facts, or some gaming news. We have it all on Youth Connect. Anyways, if you guys know with Youth Connect, we usually step one person at a time. And the first news section that we always do is some video game news. All right, I'm up first, and time to bring you guys today's game of the week. Now, what is that? It's either a game that has come out recently, an old classic, or one that's a bit more on something that just released, I guess I should say. I usually would consider those ones that have kind of like just released a few months ago or in the year of 2025. And actually, today's game is a bit more on the darker side. So viewers beware, this one's a little bit on the spooky side. I got to play this game because I was gifted it by a friend. And let's just say that it was a really, really fun game. Today's game of the week is Look Outside. So, what is look outside? Well, the first thing I want you to know is please don't look outside. This indie horror hit is actually really kind of bringing itself out there. I actually only learned about it a few days ago, but apparently it's very, very huge. It was on Steam. Look Outside basically is a top-down survival RPG developed by Francis Colombe. I think that's how you say it, but I'll say Francis, and published by Devolver Studios, the same creators as hit games like Enter the Gungeon and so many great classics. Honestly, I won't list all of them because I still have to talk about Look Outside. So it basically has a player trapped in an apartment building after a mysterious cosmic event makes it deadly to even peek out the window. Literally, anyone or anything who does look outside transforms into terrifying monsters. Well, it's 16-bit visuals, more so on that, and the synth soundtrack. Look Outside blends old school RPG combat with survival mechanics like hunger, hygiene, and even mental health. You can brush your teeth, game on your couch, or fight grotesque creatures with makeshift weapons and Molotovs. You name it, you can create it. There are over 150 hand-drawn enemies, plus branching story paths, multiple endings, and recruitable neighbors who may help or betray you. Now, I haven't seen the betrayal part yet, but maybe because I was on the good side of everybody, because you can either kill everybody or friend everybody. I tried to save as many people as I could, because that's just how I am. And that's what makes a game very good, that you can do different things in the game, and it will affect its ending. Now, this game did release in March, so it has been quite a while since its release, but the game has already racked up very overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, and for its weird, intense, and unforgettable experience, it's only 10 hours long. It is about $12 or $10 Canadian or $12 American, and it's perfect for the weekend horror sessions. So if you're into survival games with heart and horror, Look Outside may be your next step session. And honestly, guys, they just released their newest update a month ago. So I will say, just don't look outside. Anyways, this game is awesome, guys. I had a lot of fun with it. Actually, some of the monster designs were actually created, I'm pretty sure, by Lumpy Touch, a very big YouTuber who creates grotesque videos Not so on more so on the creepy side, but that's his whole thing. He's very, very good at it, and let's just say the monsters definitely made me jump a little because they were really, really grotesque. Remember, I'll just say this. The way you transform depends on your mental sanity, so make sure you keep that up. A friendly advice from somebody who looked outside. Anyways, next up is Kevin with some all-important news, sports, and weather, but most importantly, that interesting fact that's going to be shared.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect News. I'm your host, Kevin Aruja. So let's get right into the headlines. The City of Toronto staff recommends stopping transit priority lanes at Bloor on Bathurst. Toronto almost lost $2.5 million in attempt electricity fraud. Toronto butcher pitches affordable housing as a part of restaurant Reno. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the NBA 2K26 cover athlete after MVP. The City of Toronto staff are scaling back in their initial plans for transit priority lanes on Bathurst and Dufferin Street and are recommending ending both at Bloor Street West versus Eglinton Avenue West. The recommendation contained in a report going to the city's executive committee on July 16th came amid strong arguments from transit advocates who wanted to see quicker bus services from several businesses and residents who are connected about the loss of parking and traffic congestion. And in mid-2024, the Toronto City Council directed staff to consider making changes to Bathurst Street and Dufferin Street in advance of the 2026 FIFA World Cup games being held at BMO Field. Officials said to get the course south on the segment in time for the World Cup and to conduct further study on the segment north of Bloor Street West, the implementation should be split. The city staff said they will provide quarterly updates on various data points every 3 months for 2 years after installation. If ultimately approved by the executive committee and then ultimately council, staff said the $8 million initiative should be largely finished by late 2025 or early 2026. The changes would also see 277 parking spaces removed along with 21 pay and display machines. Officials said the affected spots were used 10 to 39% of the maximum allowed time, and work is underway to find a new paid parking spots where green P spots are being removed. The municipality is expected to lose $218,000 in revenue on an annual basis. Staff said more than 40,000 passengers ride on the 29 Dufferin and 929 Dufferin Express buses every day. During the morning and afternoon rush hours, officials said the average speed of travel was 14 kilometers per hour, and it takes 65% longer on the bus versus traveling the same distance by car. However, concerns were raised by people living on and operating businesses on Dufferin Street regarding the need for receiving deliveries, loading and unloading, drop-off and pickup, as well as concerns about the availability of parking on nearby streets. Residents in the neighborhoods adjacent to Dufferin Street identified concerns over the potential for traffic infiltration and increased demand for on-street parking. Toronto has also lost $2.5 million in attempt electricity fraud involving a retired city worker credentials, which were used to fraudulently sign contracts with third-party energy companies, according to the Auditor General. In a report dated June 21st, the city's watchdog said it began investigating after Toronto's corporate real estate management identified unusual invoices as part of the routine account review on October 2019. It was discovered that the electricity amounts for 14 City of Toronto properties have been switched from Toronto Hydro in July 2019 to 2 different third-party energy retailers without the city's knowledge. The report found that the contracts were signed after the employee retired and that they did not have the authority to sign contracts of its value. According to the AG, The city directed the energy retailers to revert the accounts back to Toronto Hydro, and the payments made to the retailers under the void contractors were returned to the city. The investigation found that over the 5 months where the contract was active, the city paid roughly $250,000 to the two retailers from the start of the agreement in 2019 to January 2020, when it was terminated. While all electricity in Toronto is physically distributed by Toronto Hydro, the report highlighted Ontario has an energy market where consumers can purchase electricity from the city utility or a licensed energy retailer. Following the investigation, the AG found that the retired employee did not sign a contract, and the consulting firm owners appeared to have some involvement in setting them up, although that could not be sustained. It also found that former employee identifications were fraudulently used to set up the contracts with the energy retailers. The AG added it was unable to identify if the city employed was involved in this case. The report will go after the audit committee on Friday. An East End Toronto butcher known for offering burgers to the hungry is now eyeing a plan to help the homeless that involves much more than meat. David Brown, who owns the Fearless Meat restaurant in the Beaches, envisions transforming his small-scale restaurant into 175-seat steakhouse that would sit at the retail level of a 10-story affordable housing complex on his property. Brown has also Brown has already purchased the building adjacent to his 884 Kingston Road barbecue joint and is hoping to build 100 affordable units for residents transitioning out of Toronto's shelter system. Brown intends to partner with a nonprofit housing provider that would provide 24/7 on-site support and individual case management for residents. Brown has been working with the city planner to refine the details of the building itself and has been told the proposed 10-story height could be in line with the city's official plan, as it is located on a designated avenue, though more information is needed. City staff would not comment on a specific proposal to CTV Toronto, however, given the application has not yet been formally submitted. Fred Victor previously partnered with Brown on transitional housing project led by Brown on properties he owned at Dundas Street East near Apartment Street, which continued to operate. Brown pegs the cost of the proposed development as up to $20 million, but points to the system saving that could be realized by giving vulnerable residents housing, supports, training, and opportunities. And in sports news, the Hamilton's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is now the cover athlete of NBA 2K26 following his MVP and title-winning season, the video game's developer announced on Tuesday. The last season's scoring champ and finals MVP will be featured on the game's standard edition. The Canadian averaged 32.7 points, 6.4 assists, and 5 rebounds per game, leading the Thunder to a 68 out of 14 record. The Thunder outscored the team by 12.9 points per game, the biggest margin in league history. They beat the Indiana Pacers in 7 games to win the NBA title. Gilgeous-Alexander was awarded last week for his stellar season with his record-setting 4 years, with $285 million extension. Release dates for NBA 2K26 has yet to be announced. The game is expected to launch in September. The NBA 2K cover athlete last year was Boston Celtics forward Jason Tatum, who also was featured after his team won the championship. The cover athlete announcement comes after 2K Games teased its plan to get back into the college basketball gaming market. It wasn't clear whether the developer wants to revive its long-dormant college basketball franchise or incorporate college hoops into its NBA franchise. 2K is the undisputed home of basketball gaming. 2K Games said in a statement to the Associated Press last week, "We have a strong history with college hoops and are exploring exciting new ways to bring athletes and schools to life." Classes in session. In today's weather forecast, we got a risk of a thunderstorm this afternoon. The temperature is now 30 degrees. And tomorrow we'll get a risk of a strong thunderstorm. The temperature will be 32 degrees. And for a topic for interesting fact, I'm going to talk about Canada Day. Canada Day is a day to reflect on what it means to be Canadian, to share what makes us proud, and to celebrate in our own way. This pride is reflected as many ways as there are Canadians. Canada Day highlights the richness of our land, our diversity, our culture, our contributions, but above all, our people. Since 1868, July 1st is an opportunity for Canadians, for all communities to come together. So I got six interesting facts about Canada Day. The first fact is the coldest ever temperature recorded in Canada was minus 63 Celsius. Recording in 1947, the village of Snag in the Yukon Territory, Canada's coldest ever recorded temperature was minus 63 Celsius. For reference, according to the Government of Canada, at minus 27 Celsius, individuals risk windburn, excessive dryness, redness, and soreness due to the wind eroding the top layer of oil on the skin, frostbites, and hypothermia. The second fact is Canada's national sport is hockey and lacrosse. 100%. While often associated with the sports of hockey, Canada has two national sports per the National Sports of Canada Act, while ice hockey is recognized as Canada's national winter sport. Lacrosse is the country's national summer sport of Canada. Canada performed exceptionally in both sports, ranking highly in international competition. The third fact is Canada's national parks are larger than many countries. 38 national parks are contained within Canada, spanning more than 340,000 square kilometers in total. This massive landmass, over approximately 3% of the country's total landmass. In comparison, the total size of Japan is 377,000 kilometers, while Germany spans 357,000 kilometers, making Canada's national parks cumulatively as part of either of these countries. The fourth fact is Canada has a 1 million coin. The aptly named Big Maple Leaf is the gold coin produced by the Royal Canadian Mint in 2007 and valued at $1 million CAD. In fact, the Royal Mint created five of these coins in their Ottawa facility. The coin weighs 100 kilograms but is only 530 millimeters in diameter. The Big Maple Leaf was also noted for its unparalleled gold purity in the Guinness Book of World Records as of March 2017. One Big Maple Leaf is valued at 4 million USD dollars. The fifth fact is Canada produces most of the world's maple syrup. In 2021, Canada produced more than 100 million kilograms of maple syrup nationally. The country boasts over 6,000 maple farms and more than 54 million maple taps cumulatively, making it as a powerhouse in the world of maple syrup production. Unsurprisingly, maple syrup can be a lucrative business in Canada and can even be the subject of scandal in 2012. An investigation led to the discovery of significant theft of maple syrup, 3 billion kilograms to be exact, from a storage facility in Quebec. And the last fact is Canada has the longest street in the world. Yes, Yonge Street is in Toronto, Canada, and boasts the title of the longest street in the world, named after Sir George Yonge, the former British Secretary of War. The street is one of the oldest in all of Canada, dating as far back as 1794. Yonge Street's length has been called into question, with critics citing that the street is often conflated with Ontario Highway 11 when taking measurements, artificially increasing its length regardless. Even when disregarding Ontario Highway 11, Yonge Street measures 56 kilometers in length, comfortably making it the world's longest. With that, we come to the end of my segment. Tune in for next week's news, weather, and your favorite interesting fact. This is Kevin Aruja, and it's back to you, Aiden.
All right. So, Kevin, I usually only talk about your interesting fact, but I will say I absolutely love the news. I absolutely love the part where somebody has opened up their restaurant called Fearless Burgers, and just is allowing everybody, no matter what income they have, to dine at their restaurant. And I think that is absolutely fantastic. My dad was absolutely thrilled about FIFA. You know, he's super excited it's going to be coming next year. So honestly, I think that's really cool. And also, you know what? I didn't even know about some of those facts about Canada. So thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate it. Anyways, this is some gaming news, guys, that's going to be a bit more on the harsh side. So if you guys know, Nintendo Switch just recently, not recently, but the Nintendo Switch has a Pro controller, the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. And one of the most very famous repair-focused YouTube channels, iFixit, started his negative review saying that this is a poor excuse for a controller. And let's just say, apparently the pricey controller is a nightmare to repair and contains hardware that was most likely going to fail day one. And all of this for the low price of $85. Yikes. On July 11th, iFixit posted their Switch 2 controller review on YouTube, and the results are very, very bad. The repair expert, who champions repairability, sustainability, and quality, didn't really have a lot of nice words to say about Nintendo's new and expensive controller. For example, it's absurdly difficult to replace the controller's built-in battery, which will eventually fail, like all batteries, and will need to be replaced. To do so, you would have to do all of this. You would need to remove the plastic face plate held down by tons of adhesive to reach 7 screws, then remove finicky plastic wedge sections, then using more force than expected, yank off the 2 thumbsticks, then remove more screws, and more screws, then a plastic covering, bumpers, screws again, the rumble pack, and finally remove a few more hidden screws, and now you can remove the internal guts of the controller and reach the battery pack. Let's just say it was a lot of work to simply replace a permanently dead battery, and to reassemble the controller, you might as well give up. And if you don't have your own adhesive, you might as well give up, because that controller is going to be gone. And it gets worse. To remove the joysticks completely is a pain in the ass, or pain in the butt, as we say, and requires more digging into the controller's guts. And what made iFixit found in there is really alarming. So these joysticks are prone to drift, as Nintendo is known for. But what's more is that the sticks appear to be using the same components found in the cheaper Joy-Cons, which are drifting on day one. The only good thing iFixit had to say about the controller was how easy it is to replace the headset jack, which this guy is very famous, guys. He does all the reviews, all the stuff to make sure that you buy the best controller that you can fix on your own. That way you don't have to pay $95 or another $85 for another brand new controller. The company suggests gamers buy third-party controllers that contain easier to access batteries and better thumbsticks, like the Elves 2 Pro from Gulikit. iFixit said that the response that Nintendo gave to him is really surprising, basically saying that they are going to do nothing about these changes. And he said this, out of all of this, this was the screwiest controller that he has used yet. By the way, a total amount of screws that he had to unscrew was 36. 36 screws, 4 layers. That is ridiculous. A normal controller only has 4. That's it. So, if you're a Nintendo Switch fan, please do not buy the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. From a fellow gamer to you guys, I want to make sure, don't buy it. It's just expensive garbage, as iFixit says. Anyways, next up is Logan. And what is Logan going to be bringing us? Logan is going to be bringing us, of course, his culinary news that he has to share with us. I'm so excited. What's it going to be? It's been so long.
Hello, Youth Connect. I am Logan. And for this week on Culinary News, a Michelin star awarded to a restaurant after only 2 months of operation. A Brampton restaurant closes for health safety violations. along with many more restaurant closures around New York catering to the vegan community. Let's tackle these one at a time. Starting off, Lilo, a 22-seat fine dining restaurant in Carlsbad, San Diego County, earned its first Michelin star just 2 months after opening. Celebrated for standout dishes like dry-aged kinmedi with geoduck and bone marrow ragu, the accolade enhances North County's culinary profile. It also marks one of 10 new star recipients statewide in the 2025 Michelin Guide and the fifth restaurant in San Diego to receive such an accolade. Earlier this summer, Brampton's public health inspector temporarily shut down a local restaurant after uncovering significant food safety violations. 520 Sushi, located at 252 Queen Street in Brampton, was the recipient of the closure after health inspectors identified many food safety concerns. Some of these concerns include poor temperature control of perishable items, unsanitary kitchen practices, and improper food storage. At the same time, two additional establishments in the area, Guru's Indian Hakka Cuisine and Royal Takeout and Catering, received warrant and correct orders, prompting them to address similar concerns. The closure and warnings underscore the importance of strict food safety companies and compliance within Brampton's dining scene. Rising costs driven by inflation, congestion pricing, and high rents have been squeezing New York City's vegan dining scene dry, forcing the closure of popular vegan haunts like Modern Love and Seasoned Vegan. It's very hard to operate a restaurant in New York, and especially when you have a niche market like vegan, it just makes it 10 times harder. This statement comes from New York restaurateur Ricky Romero, who had to close his popular vegan bakery, Innocent Yesterday, last year. Romero and his fellow health food advocates have had to find creative ways to expand their customer base, all while battling post-pandemic inflation, tariffs, high rents, and congestion pricing that are taking a bite out of the bottom line for both vegan and traditional restaurant owners alike. But things still remain uncertain for the establishments catering towards the vegan community. Anyways, that just about does it for the culinary news for the week. Thank you all for listening. Back to you, Hayden.
Okay. So I'm really worried about that one restaurant that's closing down. It's right near us. And I mean, if you remember the last time we talked about it, it wasn't doing so well. And it seems like it's still not doing too well. I really hope that they can turn it around because I hate to see a restaurant that is pouring in love and, putting in their joy and life into it. Because remember, guys, when you open a restaurant, it's everything. It's everything to you because it's literally your baby, as some people say. But let's just hope that they can do it. Let's hope they can turn it around, as some people would say. Anyways, thank you so much, Logan. Really appreciate it. Very good news. And I love how it has a little bit of local sprinkle into it. Absolutely adore it. Anyways, time for your community news. Who's excited? This week was really very good because it was our first on week in such a long time. And I will say that this week was all about connection, collaboration, and of course, celebration. The Super Ability crew came together to learn, lead, and lift one another up, and it started bright and early each day, of course, with our morning chats. So every morning began with a chat cafe. Now, not every morning. We cycled between Chat Cafe and Tabata. But more importantly, we had a time to check in, share some stories, laugh, and kind of set the tone for every single day. And it was our daily reminder that voices matter and connection fuels everything that we do. Now, what did we do in our I Can Learn classes? Well, this is a bit more interesting. On Monday, we did science and we explored how whistles make sound, experimenting with air pressure and pitch. Lots of laughter, learning, and a bit of noise, but that's really just the way we like it. I'm going to be honest with you. On Tuesday, creativity flowed as we painted summer masterpieces. Every canvas was unique, just like the artist behind them. On Wednesday was baking with Miss Jenna, and it was a sweet day in the kitchen where we mixed, poured, and glazed with care, and we made some delicious, delicious lemon cake. Oh my goodness, I have absolutely adored it. I will say on Thursday was music, where well, actually, did we actually do? Yeah, no, we did. We did do a little splash. Wait, am I getting the right thing? Hold on, guys. I think my thing is a little bit outdated here. I'm quickly checking right now, making sure that we have everything. I don't think we did music. No, we did not. But you know what we did do? On Friday, today, we did our Kahoot. Now, I was this close, very literally 500 points away from getting first place. But Kyle beat me to it. So next Friday, next Friday, obviously, because next week's an off week. But the next time we do Kahoot, I will be the reigning champion. I will get number 1, and you will get number 2, Kyle. Anyways, let's keep it moving. Also, very important, this Sunday, we're wrapping up our week with a musical extravaganza, and you guys are invited at the Incarnation Church in Oakville from 4:30 to 6. We want you to bring your musical instrument, bring your family, bring your friends, and bring your energy and make Sunday a celebration to remember. Other than that, our Super Ability crew was full of art, full of science, music, baking, movement, and more importantly, community. Now, I can't seem to remind myself what Thursday was, so I will say that it was a mystery day. I'm just kidding with you guys. I remember exactly what happened. Technically, we did herbs and which herbs can help with anxiety, what herbs are good to plant, and kind of just learning about the importance of herbs. Because remember, guys, it's used everywhere. Herbs are used in the foods that we eat, in the spices that we use, in the drinks that we drink. It is everywhere. But pretty busy. Remember, Sunday, music extravaganza. Very busy this week. Tons of stuff. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Anyways, that's the end of your community news. Now it's time to bring it up and bring it to cherry on top. Next up, we have Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's bringing us some live music.
Hi everybody, I'm Jeffrey. This is Jeffrey, live musician, and I'm here playing one of my original songs because we all love my original songs, and it's called "It's Ours to Protect." So hope you enjoy it. Golden dewdrops in the morning's glow, listening on waves where soft winds blow. Bird songs echo in dawn's first light. Nature's sympathy, true and bright. Whispers on the river's gentle flow. It's skies where the sun rays show. Rise up, take a stand, hand in hand. Give the earth, protect our land. Every leaf and every stone, they just give us to own. Let's unite, make a pact, get back what we lack. Every leaf and every stone, life's story, ancient and old. Guidings of tomorrow, we must stand. protect the beauty of this land. The future in our hands is sown. Nature's gift is ours to own. Rise up, take a stand, hand in hand. Please protect our land. Every leaf and every stone, nature's gift ours to own. Let's unite, make a pact, give back what we like, and breathe the desire to succeed. Makes for silent rivers redeem. Skies once clear, now a smoky screen. Birds fly no more where they beam. In the race for more, we ignore the need of the earth we breathe and our deeds of speed. Rise up, take a stand, hand in hand. Give the earth, protect our land. Every leaf and every stone, nature's gift is ours to own. Let's unite, make a pact to get back what we like and love. Oh, oh, rise up, take a stand, hand in hand. Please protect our land. Every leaf and every stone, nature's gift ours to own. Let's unite, make a pact to give back what we like. Let's join together, do what we can, hand in hand across the land. Create gardens where life can breathe. In every corner, have nature revealed. With each small act, let's take a stand. Feel the earth by heart and hand. Rise up, take a stand, hand in hand. Please protect our land. Every leaf and every stone, nature's gift is ours to own. Let's unite, make a pact to get back what we like. Rise up, take a stand, hand in hand. Oh, please protect our land. Every leaf and every stone, nature's gift is ours to own. Let's unite, make a pact to give back what we like. Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician. I'll see you all next week. Check out my website, jeffreyinkerman.com. Anyways, back to you then. Bye, everybody.
All right, Jeff, a brand new beat to an already old song. I absolutely loved it. You know what? It was a bit more on the chill, cooler side. And you know what? I definitely love to see a musician kind of change up a song if he needs to, because that's the great thing about being an artist. We can always change things to how we're feeling. So sometimes we might change a painting or change a piece of artwork or whatever we're working on to fit our mood. So I really like that mellow feel to the song now, Jeff. It was awesome. And since Jeff is done, this brings us to the end of our Youth Connect episode. I know, so sad, but if you liked Youth Connect, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the bell.
Other than that, guys, I really hope that you have a great weekend. You know what? Do something fun. I know it's going to be a bit more on the hotter side, so maybe have a barbecue, invite some family, invite some friends, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.